Hello and welcome back to this course, and this video we will see how to set up row level access control using Unity Catalog. The first step is we need to have a cluster with shared access mode. So go ahead and deploy a new cluster with shared access mode. So create a compute one, and you can just rename this and rename it as shared cluster. And access mode, instead of single user, just choose this shared access mode, right? And Databricks runtime version you can choose. I don't want this photon acceleration, and the worker node, so what is the auto scalable? If you need, you can choose that. Otherwise you can leave it maybe 1 to 3, and I'm just using, or you can just disable auto scaling and keep it as one instance. That is also fine. So the terminate after 60 minutes, that is okay, and then create. So this will create a shared cluster, and it will take some time to deploy the cluster. Okay, the cluster has deployed. Let's go to the workspace and then go ahead and create a new notebook for our work. Okay, so we have some demo here. Let me just go ahead and create a new notebook for our testing. And I can rename it like row level security. And first step, so I have to make sure so I have attached a proper cluster. Okay, so this is the shared cluster. Yes, I can attach it. It's already attached. And let's go ahead and create a catalog and schema. So for that, just use create catalog. If not exist, then access some name. Okay, so this is like the access or row level access validation. So just creating this one, and also make sure your notebook is of type SQL. So let's go ahead and execute this one. Catalog as executed. Then we will use this catalog, use catalog, and whatever the catalog name, this is the access catalog, then execute. So next is create the schema. If not exist, then we will go inside this schema. So just use whatever the schema name. So we are going inside this schema, or else you can use this fully qualified name, like that hierarchical name when we create the table. So for this demo, I'm going to create a table with the EMP department and having this data. Okay, so department code, department name, location, and country. So just create this table, and this table will be inside this access schema. So, and that schema is inside this access catalog. Okay, so we have got the table, and I just wanted to add some values or some sample values. Okay, so this is the values which I'm going to insert. Okay, so we have inserted this 5 rows. Basically, if you look here, you can see the country is mainly India and USA. So we want to restrict, say for example, so we want to restrict that USA data will be visible for or maybe that only the admin can view all those data. So normal user can restrict some country. So that we can add in the function. So before that, there are 2 functions that we commonly use here in the Databricks, which is the current user is account group member. So the current user will list, okay, so the username which we did login, so that will print our login name. So this is the username which I did here, and I have one more notebook, okay, so which is did login with some other user, so I can attach this to that compute cluster. Maybe this cluster, this is another user, and for this user this cluster is not showing, so let me just add permission to this user. Okay, so what I have to do is just go to this compute and add the permission to the other user, which is the training 01. So let me go to this shared cluster, and so here you can do this edit or from here permission, and you can just use this name as whatever the username, training 01, and can manage, just add manage or restart or whatever the sort of permission you need, you can just add. Then just open that, this one, then we should be able to view that cluster. Maybe let's just refresh it. So this username is training 01, and I should be able to view that cluster. Okay, you can see the shared cluster is available here, so I can attach, and I can execute the same command. Okay, so like so which current user, so it will print my current username. So here the this is of type Python, so I need to make sure like it's a SQL. Okay, so I want to execute this one. Now you can see this user is different. Okay, so we have got 2 user. So for one user I am restricting the permission. Okay, let me just go back to workspace or this notebook, and so what I'm just going to use here is I'm going to create a group and adding one user to that group. So for that, so we have to go to this account admin menu. So you can just use this manage account and log in with account admin. So from this account, what you have to do is just to go to the groups, and by default there is one group available which is account user. I'm going to add one more group called US admin. Okay, US underscore admin, and saving here, then adding that training 1 to this group. Okay, the user training 1 which I am adding to here. So what I did is like from the Databricks account menu, so go to the user management, go to the groups, then created a new group called US underscore admin and added this user training 01 inside that. Now let me go to the workspace and make sure like we have added that user 1 training 01 to this workspace. You can go to the permissions and can see that this training 01 is also the member of that workspace. That is why we are able to access that. So let me just execute one more function. So that is something like just checking, okay, what are the groups where I belongs to. Okay, so is account group member. So this will check if my ID is a member of this group. Okay, so and also I'm checking if I am member of this US admin group. So basically two groups, account users, that you can see the account user is nothing but the default available group, and everyone who added to this workspace will be, or everyone who added to this account will be available into this group. Okay, so let's execute and see what are the groups I belongs to and what are the groups I don't belongs to. So basically this function will return a true or false value based on our membership. So if I'm a member of this group, yes, it will return true. If I'm a member of this group, it will return true, otherwise false. So this is the case for this particular user ID, and this is my current user. So I'm a member of this group alone and not member of this group. So let's go ahead and execute the same command or same SQL statement in the other user account menu. Okay, and go to the same notebook, just to copy this statement and go to the same notebook and execute that. Here the user is training 01 and execute this one. So here you can see this particular user is a member of account users. Also, this is the member of US admin group. Okay, right. But the otherwise, the other user, so you can see this is false because I'm not the member of, okay, this ID is not the member of this group, but only the member of account user. So the next step, what I'm going to do is I'm just creating a filter function. Okay, so that will restrict the value, okay, only when based on certain membership. So this function, whatever the function we are writing, so we are expecting it return a true or false value. So if it return true value for a particular column value, or whatever the value we are passing, then it will return that value, and if it's a false, then it will not return. So let's use that function. Okay, so let me just copy and paste here for creating the function. So I'm creating the function. So this is the function name. Okay, so region filter, and this is the parameter which I am expecting. Okay, and this return, okay, the return value of this function is account a group member. So this function we have seen, like it will return true or false. Okay, so whoever called this function, okay, if he is or she is a member of US admin, it will return true. So that means if I execute with the US admin user, so always this function return true. Otherwise, like the region parameter, whatever the value we are passing, if it's like India, then it will return true. So that means this function will always return true when a user with the US admin or member of US admin execute, or if the value that we are passing is similar to or something like India. Okay, so this is a function. So basically for row level access control, we need to define a function so that return either true or false. If it's true, then the value will get printed or return. If it's false, that value will not return. So now the next step is like, so we need to grant this execute privileges to all user on this function. Let me just add that line. Okay, so region filter, that is a function name, to all account users. So account users is a group, so where all user basically will have execute permission on that function. So we can do all these things, this thing graphically also, but here I'm just adding. So the next is like I'm adding this. Before that, let me just execute this query and see how it is printing. Okay, so now I'm executing this table content emp underscore department. It's displaying all the values like India and USA rows, but let me just add this row level access control function on the country column. So then we'll see how it works. Okay, so this is something alter table, then emp department, that is our table name, set row filter. So this is something like we need to do for row filter, and this is the function that we define here. Okay, and on country means which column. So let's execute this. Okay, so this is done. So now if I execute the same command or same statement again, so we will see how it works. See, I can only print, or I can only see the rows from India only. The reason is here I have defined a function region filter on country, and that function will return true only when this value is like India. Okay, so that value is only getting printed. So we will just try to execute the same command for the other user. Okay, so we have one more user called training, and training 1, and let's just execute this select star for this table. So basically it should return all the values. Sorry, the reason is like so we have directly did a select. Either you have to use this fully qualified name. Okay, so we have to get this schema, this name, catalog name and schema name. So we'll find that. Okay, so this is the catalog name, dot. So what is the schema name? So we have to copy that schema name. So this is the schema, and the next is table. Okay, execute this one. So here this user doesn't have permission. So this is saying like the user does not have use catalog on the catalog access schema. So let's just go ahead and set that permission for this training 1 user. So that is something we have to sort it out from here. Just to go to this catalog, then this is the access catalog. So just select there and go to the permission, then grant use catalog, use catalog and use schema, that we will set it, and the username is training01. Okay, maybe we need to apply the select also, right? So this will apply on all the schemas and tables under this catalog. So this should work. Okay, so let's wait for a mere moment and then try to execute the same command. So you can see this user can see all the values. The reason is this user is a member of US admin. So is account group member US admin is returning true. That means if that we have already defined inside the function, like so if the person is a member of that group, then should get all the values printed. So that is what we have defined here inside this function. Otherwise India or anything start with India will print. So if we want to print everything here, say for example, So only thing is I can add those people to this group. Okay, so US country, that we can do and try and see. So we have to go to US admin and add our ID. So for example, so let me add my ID. Then I can check what is my access. Okay, I can execute this command and see. So this should change to true. So maybe it takes some time to get this values updated. Maybe a few minutes it will take. So let's wait for some time, and then so this should print true. So it will take some time. Yes, now this value has changed to true. So that means I am also the member of this US admin group. So now if I execute this thing, it should print all the values. This way we can customize this function. Okay, based on your logic, you can customize this. Only thing is it should return either true or false value based on whatever the values we are passing. And we can use this combination of isAccount group member function for segregating the group, and you can assign that to a table and do that. Okay, so row level filter you can apply this way. I hope it's very clear. Thank you for watching this video. We will see in the next video. Bye.